Welcome back. So this lesson, what we're going to try and do is actually upload the metadata to our files collection. So let's try and do that. Now step one is I'm going to move this file metadata that I created last lesson. I'm going to move it inside the if statement because I don't even need to create this if I don't have the metadata and the actual file itself available. There's no reason to create this file meta right here. Now the next step is I need to figure out how to get all these information pieces here. Now I know if I say object.updated, I can get that part. This will be the last modified part. I can do the name. I have that inside the metadata like I said, so I should be able to say object.metadata. And then just put in the name right here, original name. That's just the name I'm going to decide in Angular later on. So we can now get rid of this just to kind of save some room. And the next thing I want is, it's always going to be a PNG in my case. Always going to end up with a PNG because I'm cropping my images. So right now in my solution, you always end up with PNGs. And the final thing is to get this guy, I can actually go and get the size. Now this is almost the same that we did in the Angular application to get the metadata, because this is just a file, right? This is just the file that we're working with right now. So it's just as simple as doing that. So now that we have the file metadata available, let's just try and put it into FireStore. Now I need to go to, of course, admin, FireStore, and in there I need to say I want to work with a collection called files. That's where I kind of want to store this document. I want to store a specific document. So this is how you can actually set specific IDs for your document. If you start out by saying .doc right here, you can put in right here the unique identifier you want to use. I already have that unique identifier saved in the name of my file. So it's already available right here if I say object.name. So let me just try and do that right here like a local variable, const name for doc equals, and then I can actually say object.name. Now sadly this name doesn't give me only the name, it actually also gives me the path where this is saved. So it'll be something like this, the name right there. It'll be product pictures / and then the name of the file. So it'll be something like product pictures, like that, right? Just like you saw right there in the storage right here, product pictures, and then / and then this unique identifier again. So I need to kind of figure out how I can split this up because I only want the final part right here. Now you can easily do that. You can just do what we call a split. You can split on the front /, right? So you'll split on this front / right here in my case. And then you'll take the final one. So I'll just do it simple right now and take number 1 right here, because this will be 0 and this will be 1. And then I actually have the name for the document, right? Now I can use this name for the document and I can actually put that inside this area right here, and now I've gotten the unique identifier and I'm able to put it in here. Now it complains right here that object name might not be set, so I'll just do an object name up here as well just to be sure that that guy actually exists. So now we are actually getting the name for the document right here, and we are now able to put that name. So pretty much meaning that now this document will be called the exact unique identifier we have right here. It'll actually be put in and saved as that unique identifier. So now the file name and the name for this document in files collection would be the same. Now the final thing we need to do is call the set function right here and then put in the actual file metadata that we want to save. That's how simple it was. Then we can of course go in and say, when we're done with this, we can then go in and say, okay, now we have a promise right here. So we'll say then, and if we get to the then part, we hopefully have some kind of response right here, or let's just call it a value right here. That should be the metadata. We can also call it metadata, but that will be the value return, and we can actually now resolve that value just by calling this method right here, resolve, and just put in value. Like this. And there we go. Now we're actually done with this part, the then part. Then we can also do the catch part right away. And just like we have right here, we'll reject this. We'll actually get an error in here, and we can now pass that error into the reject. And that's actually how simple it is to use these promises right here. And then down here we can say error happened, not enough metadata or file data. Right? So now we have different areas with different errors, right? So what we're going to do next is we're going to try and upload this. We're going to try and upload and see if it works. So let's try and just run the good old command, Firebase deploy only functions. Hopefully you'll get a new function up there. Let's just try and do this lesson. The next lesson we'll try and use Angular to make our first real upload and see what happens. The deployment was completed, and next lesson we're going to try and put in some console logs and try and actually use this from Angular. See you next time. Have fun.